All right, everybody, welcome to the live training. Today we're going to be doing teaching you guys and going through the process of leveraging your Facebook Messenger for high ticket commissions. This is by far one of the most important aspects when it comes to organic Facebook marketing. And I see a lot of people doing this kind of poorly. So we'll go ahead and start running through this complete presentation that I did. And if anybody has any questions at the end, I will go ahead and answer those. So we'll go ahead and jump right into it. Be sure to drop me a hashtag live if you're watching this live. Drop me a hashtag replay if you're watching this on the replay. So let's go ahead and dive into it. So leveraging Facebook Messenger for commissions. So keep in mind, this is one component of organic Facebook marketing. Messenger is one crucial element when it comes to organic Facebook. But with that said, it's only one component. Other things have to be in place to make this as effective as possible. The biggest trap I see a lot of new organic Facebook marketers getting into is they mass add people and they're spamming and they're sending out cold DMs and they're being super aggressive when it comes to outreach. And while this can result in getting a couple quick wins and you could probably make some quick sales doing this, this is not how you're going to scale to, that 10K month or that huge business that you want in your affiliate marketing business. So just wanted to clarify that fairly quickly. Things that need to happen in unison with Facebook Messenger. You need to have an optimized profile for business. You need to have a cover photo, a bio, a call to action inside of your bio, talking about the problems that you solve, calling out your industry, and then have a relevant link, whether that's a link to your Facebook group and stuff like that. Posting relevant content in your industry. And then you're going to be putting out lead gen posts. So those are going to be like your bread and butter. Put those out maybe 2 times a week. Short form lead generation posts, which really get your leads and the people in your friends list to raise their hand and say they need help. Because then when you interact and you engage in a conversation in Messenger, the whole dynamic of that conversation changes. And then last but not least, optional, having your own group. Having your own group is an absolutely amazing tool. They will grow organically, and everybody inside of that group usually looks at you like you're an authority. So it's an absolutely amazing asset to have in your business. So before we dive deep into some strategies behind Messenger, we need to go into Messenger with the right mindset. So I know this is not a sexy topic and nobody ever really wants to talk about mindset, but it's crucial, especially because you need to remember that when you're engaging with people in Messenger and you're in Messenger conversations, it's a very personalized experience. It's one-to-one. You're actually talking to another human being behind the cell phone or the computer. So you don't need to be an expert to make sales through Messenger, even if you're selling high-ticket products. You just need to be able to solve people's problems. The point of Messenger conversations is to find out if they are struggling and help them get to where they want to be with the product you're promoting. So as I was kind of briefly touching on, that's a big mistake a lot of people are making is they're going into these cold conversations with people they don't even know, and they're assuming that they have problems without even actually finding out. I'm sure we've all got those messages where, you just add someone as a friend and they send you a DM and they're like, hey, what are you struggling with? That's not what I'm trying to teach you guys here. So be present in the conversation you're having. Don't come out of the gate pitching a product or presenting a solution to people who you haven't found anything out about. It's kind of like a doctor. You go into the doctor's office, they're not going to just give you a medication the second you walk in. They're going to figure out what type of symptoms you have, how long you've been having these problems, and then they're going to, based on what you tell them and what they find out, they're going to give you a medication that is suited for the symptoms you're having. So that's kind of the same thing when you're selling a product, especially in Messenger, because it's a very personalized experience. You're talking to another person. Facebook Messenger is a one-on-one experience. Sorry. Facebook Messenger is a one-on-one experience, and you need to treat it as such. Build genuine connection. People want to feel understood, not talked down to. So if someone's doing something and you think it's wrong, or you've tried that strategy before and you don't think it's going to work, you don't necessarily want to like poop on that idea or tell them what they're doing is wrong, because that's not how people want to be told. They don't want to be told that they're doing something wrong. They don't want to be talked at. They need to actually become aware of it themselves. They need to explain it to you. That's a big part about sales in Messenger, is actually talking less. So go into the conversation with the mindset of, I might be able to help you get to where you'd like to be, but I need to ask some questions. To be sure, I need to ask you some questions. That's a big thing. Telling isn't selling. You need to actually figure out and ask questions, inquire more about these people you're talking to, because then you can actually give them a calculated decision or a recommendation based on the things they're actually telling you. So next up is stop pitching cold audiences. Being able to, everybody is going to be at a different level when it comes to your friends list and people you're adding on your friends. You're going to have a portion of your friends that don't know who you are. Some are warm, some are hot, some are cold. Stop pitching cold people. That as I kind of touched on a couple times so far, that is the biggest mistake I see a lot of new organic Facebook marketers making. They're jumping into these cold conversations with people and they're pitching them, or they're trying to promote a product, or they're assuming that they're struggling, getting into a conversation and they're just super aggressive. People's walls are 10 feet high. If you go into these conversations like that, they're literally not going to respond to you. And, that's the whole goal is, you're not going to make sales. You might make a couple quick sales, but if you're really trying to scale your business and you're trying to make consistent income, you don't want to rely on, of massive volume games, sending out thousands of cold DMs. It's not effective. So being able to identify where the person you're engaging with is when it comes to their awareness of you. You need to act accordingly. As you build your friends list and you're engaging with people who are interacting on your posts and commenting, you're going to have a mixture of people. Some of those people are going to be someone you just added. They don't know who you are. They need to see your content. They need to, they need to establish that know, like, and trust with you. And they need to build a relationship with you. The goal is to actually have them trusting you and, feel like they know you by your content and what you're doing online before you even jump into a conversation or you get into a situation where you're presenting an offer to them. When it comes to newly added friends, the goal should be only to add value. Get them inside your group, give them a lead magnet, do something that will further the relationship. Jump on a quick Zoom call with them, give them a quick win, do something that's actually going to establish rapport with that person. Because over time, as they're watching your content, they're seeing what you're doing, they're watching you have success. You're inspiring them by the pieces of content that you're putting out. The chances of them buying down the road are highly likely. So taking a step back and realizing that you don't have to close these sales on the first interaction with somebody. That was a big mistake I made. So I was under the impression that, if I added some friends and they showed some big interest of a product that I was promoting or affiliate marketing, I was super aggressive and I would try to close that sale right away. And I probably repelled a ton of sales because of that. So taking a step back and realizing that you don't have to actually close these sales on a first interaction. A good way to look at it is like a first and second date, or even third and fourth date. So if you're going on a first date with these people, say it's a cold person you just added, that's your first date. You're not going to propose to them. You're not going to ask them to marry you when you just met them. So don't expect them to buy a $1,000 product if this is the first time you're talking to them. So next up, pulling warm and hot leads to you while getting a sales opportunity. So this is going to be your bread and butter with organic Facebook. Mixing in short form lead generation content on your profile to get people to raise their hand when you and then you can reach out to them in Messenger. This is how you're actually going to be able to crush it with organic Facebook. And the people that you are engaging in conversations with are literally giving you permission to go into a sales opportunity or a conversation that allows you to present an offer because they're asking for help. So say you're providing a lead magnet or some type of value, instead of giving access right away. So if I put out a short form post that says, I just released an ebook showing you how to optimize your Facebook profile for leads. Someone will comment and say they want access. I follow up with them inside of a messenger. I'm going to confirm that they want that lead magnet. And then I'm going to offer them the lead magnet, but I'll also let them know that, to get more clarity or see if I can help them, ask them if I can ask them a couple questions. If they say no, I just give them the lead magnet. I still led with value. If they say yes, I have permission to move into a sales conversation and figure out if they're actually struggling with something. So this is a really great way to segue into sales opportunities and conversations while still giving value. So someone, they're raising their hand and you're getting into a conversation with them, and then they're asking for something that you offered. And then you can tell them that, hey, this is only one component of organic Facebook marketing. To help you get some clarity on the entire process, can I ask you some questions to figure out where you're at? If they say no, you just shoot them the lead magnet, and then they still got value. And I'm not saying don't send them the lead magnet, but it just allows you to open up into an actual sales conversation while leading for value. And if you are pushing lead magnets and things like that, that's going to be exposure to your affiliate links as well, because you can have affiliate links in your ebooks and stuff like that. So conversational awareness. So people's walls are 10 feet high. You have hundreds of affiliates online and entrepreneurs pitching products and spamming people's inboxes. So you need to be aware of this. If you're diving into organic Facebook marketing and you're going with this strategy, there are people that are doing this poorly. A huge mistake that can kill the opportunity for sales through Messenger is not being aware or present in the conversation. And what I mean by this is, if someone is if you're engaging in a conversation with somebody and they're really short, they seem, you're asking questions, you're asking how their day is, and they just respond, okay, good. They don't trust you. Their walls are up. They feel a pitch coming. You need to take a step back and, pivot the conversation. You need to be aware of how your actual prospects are responding to you. Are they giving you short answers? Are they unresponsive to what you're talking about? If so, it's likely they don't trust you and they feel a pitch coming. Being able to pivot the conversation and understand what you need to do based on the way the person is interacting with you is crucial. So, I'm sure we've all had those conversations where, you get into a conversation with somebody and they don't, they are kind of probing and they're trying to figure out what you're doing, and then they just pitch right out of the gate. So that's a very common thing. So you don't want to do that. You actually genuinely want to help people, especially if you're in a cold DM and you're, talking to somebody that you don't necessarily have know, like, and trust with, or they don't necessarily know who you are. You need to actually focus on building that rapport with somebody. So the goal is to establish KLT, because without these in place, your prospect will not buy from you or be responsive. So when people start seeing you as an authority, they know you, they're seeing your content, they're seeing what you're doing. That's when the sales are going to come. So follow up, keeping track of who's showed interest in what you're doing. So this is going to be a big one. A lot of people follow up with people that they're doing, follow up with people that have admitted they have a problem or seem like they would be a good fit for what you're offering should always be a top priority. So when it comes to organic Facebook, a lot of people, myself included, they prioritize cold outreach, cold DMs, and that should be the last of your priority list. You need to be reaching out to people that have bought products from you before, following up with people that have showed interest in your lead magnets or conversations that have died out, people that are engaging on your posts or your lead gen posts. Those are going to be your top priority. follow up. People get busy. If they don't respond, it doesn't necessarily mean they weren't interested. If you've gotten to a point in a conversation where you sent a link or made an offer, follow up with that person. See if they had any questions. Ask them if they had a chance to check out the offer. Keep it casual. Send a funny GIF. Attempt to make them laugh and change the tone of the conversation. And then I use a 3 strikes you're out approach with this. So if they ghost me or they don't respond to me for a few attempts, I just move on to the next, and I really don't put that much effort into trying to, convince them, or, there's always someone else. So, and then another quick tip that you can use is you can interact on their profile. You can go comment on their posts. This will send notifications and keep you present in their mind. So it's kind of like sending some subliminal messages. So say someone ghosted you or they didn't necessarily respond or something like that. You can go out and you can comment on their post, and give actual feedback or something like that. And then, they're going to get a bunch of notifications from you, or answering some of their questions or something like that. They're going to get notifications from your profile, and it will keep you present in their mind. So buying signals, these are very important. So people are always going to have objections, and more often than not, they're a good thing. Apparently, I got a cough this morning. Because if they have objections, they're open to the idea of what you're promoting. So if they didn't have objections, they wouldn't be contemplating the idea of it, or they would, they wouldn't be even putting any types of barriers in place. So if they're asking questions about what you're doing, admitting that they're struggling, if they're starting to inquire about price, they're opening up to you and asking for advice. Have they already bought something from you before? Are they interacting on your post, asking for lead magnets all of the time? So a lot of these can be buying signals, and being aware of these actual triggers and things that people are doing it is crucial. Sometimes people will misread the conversation. This kind of ties in with conversational awareness. You have to be very present and understand how people are interacting with you and what their tonality is in that conversation. So telling isn't selling. So the whole sales process inside Messenger is never about you. It's all about your prospects and getting a clear picture of where they're at and seeing if your product can be a solution for them. Ask more questions. You are diagnosing where they're at and then presenting a solution to their problem if they have one. To do this effectively, you need to get a very clear picture as to where they are at. You need to ask more questions. But you don't want to interrogate them. You don't want to just berate them with questions and ask them 300 questions in a row without actually being in a conversation with them, But that's the goal, is you need to figure out where they're at. You have to ask more questions and actually diagnose if they're having a problem, because that's how you're going to be able to figure out if they even need something from you. Earn the right to ask for the sale. You need to earn the right to have a sales conversation with a prospect, provide value, build a genuine connection, then ask permission to present an offer. So a big thing is, don't assume that somebody needs help, or don't even assume that, even if you've engaged in this conversation and you've asked questions and, they're struggling, don't assume that they're ready to buy something, or assume that they, need help. They might not be in a position. So ask them, ask permission. Hey, I think this opportunity might be a really good fit. Yeah, I think it could really help you get to the next level. Is it okay if I send you more details? Is it all right if I share some information with you about a program that really helped me have success? You're asking permission to send them more information. That's a good way to position it. Direct answers. People will ask you exactly what they need to know. So this one can be kind of tricky, especially when you're selling a $1,000 product or something like that. It can get super exciting when someone, inquires about a price or shows interest in what you're promoting. It can be very hard for us to not get super excited and just start ranting and sending a ton of DM messages and these long-winded messages. And don't do that. It can be very difficult, but do your best not to do this. People will ask you exactly what they need to know. They don't need long, drawn-out paragraphs or huge messages. Give them direct answers. Hey, will this product teach me how to do this? Yes, this product covers XYZ. Instead of, explaining every different component inside of the product, that can put a lot of people off. And give them actual direct answers. Answer their question specifically, because they will ask you everything they need to know. If they need to know more, they will ask you those questions. So the big picture. Remember this. In the beginning of this training, I said Messenger is one key element to making high-ticket commissions on Facebook. Other things need to be in place to make this as effective as possible. If you're looking to get a clear picture on this entire process and how to leverage Facebook to start earning high-ticket sales, comment clarity on this live, and I'll send you a calendar link. We can jump on a clarity call, and I can break down the whole process for you. That's going to be it for today's live training. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to drop them in the comments. I'll answer them, or we can schedule a call. No pressure. It's not a sales call. Just get on a Zoom call, and I can break down the entire process for you, explain more about it. And yeah, so if you watch this and you guys are checking it out live, be sure to check out the live. Drop me a hashtag live. If you're watching on the replay, drop a hashtag replay. You guys have a beautiful day.